So here we are at Manor Park Classics, and I'm here with Helen Crowther from the Children's Adventure Farm Trust.
That's right.
Have I got that right?
You have, well done.
Okay, so everybody calls it CAFT,
Yeah.
but there are other CAFTs. So,
Yeah.
but you call it Children's Adventure Farm.
Yeah, we tend to just call it the Adventure Farm, really. It's a little bit of a mouthful, isn't it, Children's Adventure Farm? But we're fairly well known in the Northwest.
Yeah.
But then there's lots of people who don't know about us, and we need them to know because in order to benefit from what we're doing.
Well, I need to know as well, because I'm from the Midlands, and so we need to spread the word all the way around the country.
Yes.
So tell us a bit more about the Children's Adventure Farm. What is it that you do? Is it like a real farm? Do you actually teach farming principles?
No, so it used to be a farm. So
Yeah.
we've got this gorgeous 10-acre site, and it's right out in the middle of nowhere in the Cheshire countryside.
Sounds good already.
It is. It's absolutely amazing. So we have a 17th century Grade 2 listed farmhouse. Brilliant. Which is got is the accommodation side of things.
Yeah.
But that's set amongst, say, this 10-acre site, which is it has we have animals, so that's kind of where the farm bit comes in.
Okay, yeah.
So but we don't have the normal farm animals. We do have pigs, we do have sheep, but then we also have pygmy goats, we have alpacas, we've got miniature donkeys, loads of chickens, loads of ducks, loads and loads of birds, and a huge aviary. So the children do get involved with that side of things when they come to us. But then we've also got a huge sports hall, we've got sensory equipment, we've got we've got kind of accommodation for them to stay in, and facilities for them to do things like cooking and art and all those sort of things. But just to backtrack slightly as to what we do as a charity, we bring children to come and stay with us who don't get the normal childhood opportunities. Okay. And that's for a variety of reasons. They may have a chronic or terminal illness. They may have a physical disability, a learning disability. They may be from socially disadvantaged circumstances. Sure. We have children who are young carers, children who've been bereaved, children who've been victims of abuse, looked after children. Yeah. So these kids, all for very, very different reasons, just don't get to be kids. Well, that's a brilliant thing, to be able to go away for a few days and stay with you guys and do all that stuff and experience all of those things, experience the animals, play the sports, do all those activities. Must be absolutely wonderful, and of course all in that brilliant fresh air. Yeah, you know, it's basic stuff that probably most of us took for granted in our own childhoods, or we take for granted for our own children. But it's things that these kids just don't get to do. You know, for whatever reason, they don't get the opportunity to go and play out in the countryside in the fresh air. They don't get the opportunity to meet animals, or to get on a trampoline, or to, you know, just to do these normal everyday things. And that can be very damaging for a child to not have those opportunities. Because if you think about it yourself, you know, it's experiences and memories that make us who we are. Yeah, precisely. So, you know, to be able to experience these things gives us the kind of confidence that we can do things, and we are worthy of doing these things, and to have aspirations and hopes for the future. That's brilliant. And that's what we do. Broaden horizons. Yeah. But tell me, how have you been getting on during COVID? Because we've had almost a year and a half of things being very different. I mean, has that really affected what you're doing at the Children's Adventure Farm? Well, it did at first. When the first lockdown was announced in March last year, we had to close our doors, which was devastating for us. I can imagine. Last year was supposed to have been our record-breaking year. We were going to have more children through the doors. We were going to raise more money than ever before. And up until March, we'd had 700 children through our doors. Wow. And so it was the start of an amazing year. Yes. And then lockdown was announced. And we know it wasn't just us, it was the whole world. Yeah. But it was really devastating for us to close our doors and to have that just stopped instantly. But we're not very good at just sitting back and letting things happen to us. We're a very proactive charity because we're determined to help the kids. That's what we're there for. Good stuff. So as soon as some of the restrictions were lifted on outdoor activities, you know, when we were able to do more than 1 hour a day sort of thing, we were able to start inviting individual families to come to the Adventure Farm for a couple of hours, just using the outdoor facilities.
Brilliant.
Remaining socially distant from other families.
So just in bubbles, basically.
Yeah, exactly. And so they were able to go and see the animals, play on the park, go up to the woods and get involved with all the messy play and the mud, etc. up in the woods. And so we started doing that, and that really kick-started an amazing year for us.
Fantastic.
You know, we had 1,000 families
come
and do that throughout the year. And then at Christmas, we thought all was lost for our Christmas parties. We normally do 5 weeks of Christmas parties.
Right, I see.
And it's mainly based indoors. Couldn't do that last year. But we used the lessons that we'd learned from what we call the Families Outdoors programme.
Yes.
To do Christmas outdoors. And it was magical.
Brilliant.
You know, we were up in the woods, we put thousands of fairy lights out.
Yep.
We had a Santa's grotto outside, we had marshmallows around the campfire. We did all these great activities, and we've just learnt and learnt and learnt all these amazing lessons.
So are you going to be taking any of those things forward that you've done because of lockdown? But they've worked out so brilliantly that you're going to carry them on.
Absolutely. You know, we've continued the family visits throughout the year.
Yeah.
At Easter, we did an Easter programme, which was 2 weeks, and it was all outdoors.
Yeah.
And you know, Easter bunny and Easter egg hunts, etc.
Brilliant.
And we're going to continue that. So even when our holidays, hopefully, return in mid-September, this is going to continue, and I have no doubt that, for example, at Christmas we'll do lots of our Christmas party programme outdoors this year, because it worked and it was fabulous, and it's a way of getting more and more children through our doors. So
that sounds fantastic. So it sounds like you're going to need to get even more personnel or you're going to have to work you know, an awful lot harder than you. Exactly. So you know, but that's great. So I mean, really, what you need and what you guys need to do out there is to actually support the Children's Adventure Farm Trust. Manor Park Classics is doing its bit to help the Children's Adventure Farm Trust. I've managed to say that twice in a row without stumbling over my words. But how can people help and support you?
Well, all of our income comes from voluntary contributions. We don't get any statutory funding, so every penny that we bring in is through the generosity of supporters, and that's what we need. We just need people to help, and a relatively small amount of money can make a big difference to us at Adventure Farm.
Lots of little bits go to make a huge contribution.
Yeah, you know, and especially now that we've got this new string to our bow with these family visits outdoors, they're a lot cheaper than the residential programme. Yeah. So people can have a huge impact on a family. Giving them that opportunity to get out of a normal environment, you know, especially after lockdowns. You know, these families have been stuck at home with a child with additional needs, and it's been so isolating for them. And so just by, you know, kind of the support through Manor Park Classics, we can make such a big difference to these families. We really can.
Well, that's brilliant. And you know, as part of Manor Park Classics, I'm really pleased that we're able to help. But come on, let's drum up a little bit more support here. Come on, guys, you can do it. A small contribution can make a huge difference. Lots of small contributions makes a massive difference. So that's the Children's Adventure Farm Trust. I've said it right?
Well done.
Okay, good. Get your support in. Take a look at what they're doing brilliant things.
Thank you.
Helen, it's been brilliant to meet you.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
Cheers.
Cheers.